Hello officers, welcome to my channel. I'm Code Proxy. Today I will review a game called Ready or Not. As always, I will put a link to the game in the description so you can go get it yourself. In this video, I will cover price, maps, gameplay, performance, audio, and my final thoughts. Now let's begin. You can get Ready or Not for $49.99 on Steam. According to SteamDB, it's been for sale as low as $29.99. Ready or Not offers 18 maps in the base game that allow for almost every playstyle. All media of the maps were recorded using the default loadouts. The first map in Ready or Not is Thank You, Come Again, which takes place at For You gas station. Your SWAT team is sent to a gas station where 3 armed suspects have committed a stick-up robbery. The SWAT team is required because the suspects have barricaded themselves with multiple civilians inside. This map is a very good first mission because its small size and the suspects are untrained and have inferior firepower. 23 megabytes a second takes place at San Oriol Condominiums. This map is 3 stories of apartments where your team is sent to arrest Michael Williams, who has allegedly killed his mother and taken his younger brother hostage. The map is rather large, so I recommend moving carefully and strategically. Twisted Nerve takes place at 213 Park Homes. This map takes place at a suspected key methamphetamine storage location at an affordable housing development in 213 Park. This map is one of the harder beginner maps with lots of opportunities to get ambushed, so I recommend that this mission be played with friends. The Spider takes place at Brixley Talent Time. Your team is dispatched on this mission to serve a search warrant into the Brixley Talent Time to assist with investigations into an illicit pornography ring. This map is relatively one of the easier maps to clear due to its small size and multiple entry routes. A Lethal Obsession takes place at Sullivan Slope. Your team is dispatched to the location of a former USIA analyst who has a warrant for his arrest over the suspected murder of 5 police officers in Makati County, Greater Los Sueños. I'd recommend that you play this map slowly and carefully due to the property being filled with traps behind almost every door. Ides of March takes place in Brisa Cove. Your team is dispatched here because a group that calls themselves the Left Behind are taking matters into their own hands by attempting to kill a politician responsible for a budget cut proposal to the already undersupported VAMC in Los Sueños. This map can sometimes seem daunting to clear in the first playthrough as a beginner. However, this map is easier despite its large size. Just beware of traps and know that the suspects are military veterans who can put up a good fight, so be careful. Strenuous Trail takes place at Minejot Data Center. Your team is sent to a data storage facility run by @Minejot because scrubbed IPs from content found in the residence of a now convicted pedophile led to the distribution source of explicit child pornography. This map is more challenging due to the heavily armed private security presence. I would recommend bringing higher caliber weapons to this mission. Ends of the Earth takes place at Kauai Beach. Your team is sent here because LSPD has been tipped off that a coastal home is harboring a family responsible for the modification of weaponry, making semi-automatic weapons able to be switched to fully automatic, as well as selling weapons illegally from the property. This map is probably the easiest one due to the small size and untrained suspects. Just watch the stairway on the first floor. Greased Palms takes place at Los Sueños Postal Service. Your team is dispatched here because this facility is suspected of importing weaponry for the gang Los Locos. LSPD detectives visited the premises, which followed with a shootout. This resulted with 1 suspect getting shot and an LSPD detective in critical condition. Your team is sent as a response to clear through the scene and bring order to the chaos. Valley of the Dolls takes place at Vol Health House. After the Minejot raid, the LSPD cybercrime team has now located the man profiting from child pornography sales. Your team is sent to serve a warrant service. Expect immediate resistance from the private security team on the property, and watch your fire due to the heavy civilian presence on this mission. Elephant takes place at Watt Community College. Your team has been sent to a reported active shooting. This is a large map and is one of the hardest maps because time is crucial. I haven't S-ranked it yet, but last time I played I encountered at least 6 active shooters on the campus. Definitely bring friends along if you can, because the friendly SWAT AI can be sluggish and frustrating to work with in this map. Rust Belt takes place in Costa Vino Border Reserve. Your team is a part of a large operation to stop the exfiltration of key Los Locos targets fleeing across an ancient underground tunnel to Tijuana. This operation is mildly challenging due to the vast underground tunnel network, which I frequently got lost in my first few playthroughs. Sins of the Father takes place in Clemente Hotel. Your team is dispatched to this hotel because a group known as the Left Behind have infiltrated the Clemente Hotel, which is housing the family of Senator Fremont. They are demanding that Fremont admits to his actions, lest he wishes for the blood of his family to be on his hands. Your team is sent to rescue the civilians, including Fremont's family, and bring order to the chaos by neutralizing the suspects. This map may be small, but it can be challenging because the suspects are heavily armed and well trained. I would bring friends if you can, because the friendly SWAT AI can get in your way due to the tight spaces.
Empty over here. No contacts.
Neon Tomb takes place at Neon Nightclub. Your team is dispatched to a nightclub that has been targeted by a terrorist group. This nightclub has been targeted in response to recent U.S. airstrikes that targeted villages housing a notorious terrorist group in northern Yemen, which has ties to U.S. cells. One of these cells is known as The Hand, which is the terrorist group responsible for this domestic response to the U.S. military incursion. Your team is tasked with neutralizing the terrorist threat while rescuing the surviving civilians inside the nightclub. This map is easy, but I would recommend high-caliber weapons and heavy armor because the terrorists are well armed and will not surrender easily. Buy Cheap, Buy Twice takes place at Caesar's Cars dealership. This dealership is a target related to a recent crackdown on firearm trafficking. Your team is sent to secure the property and neutralize the suspects after multiple officers were killed at the scene. This map is very dark, and the enemies can easily ambush you and your team, so exercise extreme caution. Despite the large size, this map is one of the easier maps due to the lightly armed and small number of suspects at the scene. Carriers of the Vine takes place in Cherriessa Farm. Your team is responding after an officer was killed at this compound. The mission is to clear the compound and find out what's going on. This map is rather easy due to how easily most of the suspects are willing to surrender. This is also one of the prettier maps in my opinion. Relapse takes place in Crystal Grove Medical Center. After the Neon Nightclub incident, remnants of The Hand go to rescue the lone surviving leader, now placed under police supervision in the Crystal Grove Medical Center ICU. This map is easy once you overcome its large size. Also, make sure to treat everyone as a threat because the suspects are mostly dressed as medical staff and patients. Hide and Seek takes place at Port Hogan. A joint strike operation has LSPD, FISA, and ATF on Los Suenos' major shipping port after federal and state authorities were tipped off on large shipments of weapons moving through the area, leading to a major crackdown to capture and detain any individuals involved. Your team is sent in to carry out this operation on the scene. This map is by far the most disturbing map in the base game for me, but I'll leave it to you to play and find out why. This map is very easy and straightforward and has some interesting dialogue between the main character and an unnamed FISA agent. Ready or Not has some really cool gameplay features that I'd like to go over. First, I think we should start with gunplay. Every firearm in Ready or Not has its own unique feel and handling. The firearms you bring to every mission in Ready or Not can make a measurable difference in the outcome. The game also manages to have a flexible gear customization system that allows the player to choose the right uniform and equipment to fit the mission, whether you want to go lethal or less lethal. Ready or Not also includes a detailed command menu. Here, you can issue commands to your SWAT AI, suspect AI, and civilian AI. The game also has a detailed police headquarters that can be used to explore, access minigames, use a vending machine, visit the jail cells for arrested suspects, visit the memorial, and access the evidence locker, etc. Ready or Not is able to achieve these gameplay features while staying somewhat easy to learn. Ready or Not has enough features to make a series about, so I'll leave the rest for you to explore. The minimum and maximum system requirements for Ready or Not seem pretty reasonable for how well optimized this game has become. The minimum system requirements consist of an i5-4430 or FX 6300 CPU, 8GB of RAM, an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 960 2GB or AMD Radeon R7 370 2GB GPU. The recommended system requirements consist of an i7 7600K or Ryzen 5 1600 CPU, 8GB of RAM, and an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060 6GB or better. Both requirements, however, recommend at least 60GB of available space. I am currently running an Acer Nitro 5 gaming laptop equipped with NVIDIA RTX 4050 graphics, an i5-12500H processor, and 32GB of 4600 megatransfers per second RAM running in dual channel mode. I am pleasantly surprised at how well the game is optimized. I will put hardware recommendations in the description of this video if you don't know what hardware to get for this game. Ready or Not has really immersive audio, which can be used by the NPCs and players. The sound effects are very immersive and detailed. You can sometimes use the sound of enemy chatter and footsteps to your advantage in this game. The arrested suspects can also call out your positions while detained for other suspects to know your location. With everything mentioned in this video, I would like to mention an overview of the pros and cons of Ready or Not. The pros are immersive gunplay, lengthy and diverse map selection, realistic suspect and civilian AI, intuitive weapon customization, very well optimized, and of course, lots of content in the base game. The cons are friendly SWAT AI still kinda sucks. Now, this game is not for the casual gamer or the faint of heart due to the sensitive nature of the topics this game covers, and everything covered in this video is possibly subject to change in future DLCs or patches, and I cannot include absolutely everything. Do I recommend this game? Well, the short answer is yes, definitely. However, I will reiterate that the long answer is that tactical shooters are a very niche genre of video games. I honestly believe that if you are unsure whether or not this game is right for you, you should look up more videos about this game and read the reviews on Steam before purchasing. I will make sure to put links in the description to videos if you are interested in the lore of the game. In this video, I reviewed a game called Ready or Not. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and comment on this video, and subscribe to my channel. It would help me make better videos. I will put a link to the game in the description so you can go get it yourself.